Hi everybody! In this week's Mark Lammer video, I want to talk quickly about straight-sized people, plus-sized people, what those people actually look like, and why images in the mainstream media have gotten us all confused. So I would assume that most everybody knows that plus-sized people is a term. It's a term used for models, it's a term used for clothing, it's a term to describe anyone who wears a size 12 or 14 and above. The counterpart to the term plus size is the term straight size, which not as many people know, but in the fashion world it's pretty well known. And it basically means anybody who is from a 00 all the way up to a 10-12, right where the line cuts off, and then clothing sizes become plus. And another fact that most of us know is that the average American woman and femme is plus size. She wears between a size 14, 16, 18, somewhere in there. And a fact that a lot of us also know is that 67% of American women and femmes are plus size. So the majority of people in America are plus size. So because one of the main goals of Smart Glamour is to have accurate representation, I try my best to have my groups of models accurately represent what exists in the real world, which means that there will always be slightly more plus size models than there are straight size models. Because if 2/3 of the population are plus, then 2/3 of my models should also be plus. Now this doesn't mean that I don't use straight size models. I do. They're all over the Smart Glamour website. But very often I get comments on social media asking me if I'm inclusive and mean everybody, where are the straight size models? And often I get these comments on photos that have straight size models in them. I think the problem exists mainly because people have a different idea of what bodies look like versus what model bodies look like. And in Smart Glamour world, when I say the word model, I don't mean industry model. I just mean person modeling my clothing. Because if you are a person and you're modeling Smart Glamour clothing, then you are a model. However, that is not the same in mainstream imagery and mainstream fashion ads. The mainstream fashion industry shows the smallest parts of both straight-sized people and plus-sized people. So models that you see that represent straight sizes are usually a size 00 or 2, maybe a 4. And models that you see representing plus sizes are often said that they are around a 12 or 14, maybe a 16. But there's also cases where curve models, which is a new ridiculous term that's being used, are actually not even really plus size. So because I'm well versed in the fashion industry and the modeling industry to an extent, I know that people use the terms curve models and also the term plus models, and there's often a gray, hazy line of which is which and what means what. So I try to look into it and see, well, what is the difference between curve model and plus model? Is there a difference? And while generally I found that people who identify as curve models are a little bit smaller than people who identify as plus models, I also found a lot of articles and talk from a few years ago when a bunch of models who used to be called plus got upset with the term plus and didn't want to identify by it anymore. And so they decided to call themselves curve models. I'm sure you already know where I'm going with this, but most of those models are technically not even plus size. And maybe that's why they don't identify with the term. But because they are given the platform to be the voice for plus size people, it makes it seem like plus size people don't want to be called plus size and they want to be called curve, and that there's something wrong with being plus. Where overwhelmingly what I see all around the internet from all the plus size people that I know and love is that they don't mind the term plus, and most of the time they love it and they want to be called plus. Now, I want to reiterate that, hi, I'm not plus size, so I'm not the voice to be speaking on whether or not we use that terminology. However, I do want to talk about the dangers that come along with associating curve models as plus size people and straight size models as what all straight size people look like. Because when we get it in our heads that straight size people look like straight size models, which are again are size 00 to 2, maybe a 4, and they're usually about 5'10" minimum, most of the time closer to 6 foot tall, and that all plus size people are supposed to look like curve models and plus models, who even at the max stop at 12, 14 usually, then you've got a group of people who are the larger end of straight size and a group of people that are the larger end of plus size who are not seen as acceptable. And this leads to people seeing straight size models all over Smart Glamor's website and then asking me where the straight size models are. Because our brains have been so conditioned to think that all straight size people are on the very, very small end of straight size, that when they see straight size people who are size 6, size 8, size 10, they assume that that's plus. And additionally, what it does is it gives people an idea that plus size people who are acceptable and beautiful by societal standards aren't fat. That they are, size starting at 8, which is about my size, and then stopping at 14. And anyone who's larger than that doesn't deserve to have cute clothes, doesn't deserve to feel beautiful, doesn't deserve to be held up as a standard of beauty, doesn't deserve to be celebrated. And I have a huge problem with that. When fashion advertisements only show the very small end of straight size and the very small end of plus size, we are still leaving out tons and tons of people. And we are skewing our ideas of what people look like and what certain sizes look like. And that might not seem like a big deal, but it is. So if you were to go to Smart Glamor's website right now, you would find people that wear everything from an extra extra small through a 6X. And all the people that wear an extra extra small through an extra large in Smart Glamour are straight size. And there's a lot of them all throughout the site. And they deserve to be seen. And yes, it would be lovely to live in a world and a society where none of this mattered and everyone had equal access to clothing and everyone was looked at as equally wonderful, but that's not where we live right now, and that's not where we are yet. And I hope that we can get there, but one of the things that's going to help us get there is by thinking more rationally and more critically and looking into details of what really means straight size, what really constitutes plus size, where are these terms coming from, and then asking the companies that you shop with for more, for better representation, for more accurate representation, to not leave out the higher end of straight size, to not rebrand the higher end of straight size as curve, and not try to just get rid of the term plus, and to not have plus size representation stop at 14, to not have plus size representation stop at 22, to have representation for all bodies. And I truly believe that knowledge is power. Take a moment, look around you, think about the people who are in your family, think about your friends, and then think about what you see in the media. Does that reflect the people that you know and the people that you surround yourself with? If you're saying no, then you should ask for more. And if you see companies that are doing it right, spend your money with them. Accurate representation matters, and everyone deserves to be seen. I hope you liked this Smart Glamour video. If you did, please be sure to like, please be sure to comment, please be sure to share it with your friends. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And if there's any topics you'd like to see me discuss, leave it in the comments below. Thanks!